I still don't know how to intro. What's up, guys? It's Rachel. So I wanted to tell you some stories from my childhood of times that I got really hurt. And I was probably 9 years old. Me and my younger sister would always sleep over at my aunt's house. We were probably there like 4 to 5 times a week, and we would do arts and crafts, and it was super fun. So we were staying over there one night, and now I'm gonna sneeze, of course, once I start telling the story. I hope I'm not getting sick. I sound like a man when I lose my voice and I'm super sick. We were sleeping over there, and she was super sweet, and she decided to just have us sleep in her giant queen size bed, and she was gonna sleep on the couch. So my aunt was downstairs, and Kate, my younger sister, and I have slept in the same bed before. We've never had an issue. For some reason, I don't know what got into her, but she was just kicking up a storm. She was kicking me all over the place. I don't know if she was having a bad dream or what, but it was ridiculous. I was dead asleep because I had inched away from her so she would stop kicking me. And next thing I know, she kicks me so hard that I end up, there's a radiator to the left of her bed. And she kicks me so hard that I lunge forward onto the radiator and crack my head open on the radiator, and I'm bleeding everywhere. And I don't remember what I was wearing. I was in PJs, and I felt something warm come all the way down my face, and it started getting my eyes, and it was hurting, and I was like, what is that? And so I started crying, obviously, and I went downstairs to my aunt, and she was watching TV. I was just covered in blood everywhere. She was like, what happened? And I was like, Kate kicked me. And at this point, Kate was still dead asleep, had no idea what happened. And I pushed her. I was like, she just didn't care. She was just clearly wanted the bed to herself. I don't know. Oh, you can kind of see it. Oh, my skin looks like shit, but it's right there. It's not too noticeable. It really blends in with my hairline. And so instead of taking me to the emergency room, she just decides to give me some ice, ice cubes, and wrap it in a towel and just have me put it on my forehead. And so it's still kind of open. It just stopped the bleeding. So I probably should have got stitches, but I never did. Yeah, I don't know. This is Pure Leaf peach tea. It's my favorite drink in the entire world. I love it so much. I have such a bad addiction to it. I used to drink 3 a day. I mean, it's just tea, but they're just loaded with sugar, and it's so good. How my dad ran me over, and this is a true story. It's hilarious now, and he jokes about it all the time. So it was it was my freshman year of high school, and I was so excited. I spent so much time getting ready in the morning. I was in the back seat, and I was sitting right directly behind my dad, and my sister was still in, what would she be in middle school. So we had dropped her off at the school first, and so it was just me and my dad in the car, sitting directly behind him. So he dropped me off, and so I get out of the car, and I still have the car door open, and I lean over to go grab my backpack because it was on the floor in between my feet. So I'm outside of the car's here, I'm leaning over to get my backpack, and I go to swing it on my back, and my dad starts driving. And so I don't think anything of it. I was like, hey, I'm not done. And I just whispered it. Next thing I know, this huge weight on my left ankle. And so my dad starts driving away, and my foot was apparently near the back left wheel. And so the car is on top of my foot, and I start screaming bloody murder. He's like, what? I was like, oh my god, the highest pitch ever, and I was screaming. And while I'm screaming and everything, he's still on it. So he looks back at me, and he's like, oh shit, he went all bug-eyed and everything. So he gets off, and he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, I can't walk on it. It hurts so bad. It's broken. So he's like, oh fuck. And so he tells me to get back in the car. I'm like, it's broken. I'm gonna lose my leg. I was so dramatic. Fighting with me in the car. He's just like, I thought you were done. I was like, I didn't close the door. And he was just like, well, you said goodbye. And I was like, but the car door was still open. I don't understand. And back home, we go in, and we wake my mom up, and she's like, what? Aren't you supposed to be at school? It's your first day. And I was like, yeah, but I have to go to urgent care now. No, we didn't go to urgent care. We had to go to the Bone and Joint Center. And so both my parents take me, and I was terrified. I was totally convinced. I was like, this is definitely what a broken bone feels like. There's no way. And mind you, the car was a CRV. It's freaking huge. And I was, teeny tiny at the time. And I was like, you broke my entire foot. Every bone in my foot is broken. So we went and got an x-ray. I don't know how, but I was totally fine. Nothing was broken. I had a slight ankle sprain, but it was fine. And my foot was just swollen and like bruised for like a couple weeks after that, but like I was slowly able to like walk on it and everything. Still like a running joke to this day that Dad's like, make sure you're out of my way before you get run over again. It's like, I think I'm one of the only people that, you know, their parent has run them over with an entire car. I hope you enjoyed this. I made myself laugh because I think it's hilarious that like these stupid ass things happen to me. Okay, so I hinted at this story in my first video that my sister had broken my nose when I was younger, and I was like, this is an amazing story to tell. So Kate and I were like a lot younger, probably like, I don't know, like 6 and 8 or something. So we'd gone to Funplex with my parents, and we were going through and everything, and Kate had never mini golfed before, and I was like, oh, I'll teach you, trying to be like the greatest big sister ever. So I told her, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I was like, you just have to lightly tap it and then let go. And she's like, okay, no problem. So she like goes to swing, and it's a mini golf course. Like, you don't have to hit the ball hard at all. So I'm like standing a little bit back from her, and then my parents are behind me. And so she goes to swing and she brings it all the way back. So of course, because she doesn't listen to anyone, she decides to bring this golf club all the way back like she's fucking Tiger Woods when she is not. And I'm standing right behind her, so I think you know where this is going. She hits me perfectly, mind you, right underneath the tip of my nose. And yep, it was just downhill from there. The golf club, like the tip of it, whatever, the butt of the golf club, I don't know, fucking golf terms, I don't know. So she hits me, and all I remember is like seeing nothing, like at all. And so the next thing I know, my nose is obviously broken and I'm pouring blood. I've never bled so much in my entire life, and I end up passing out through this because like I got hit so hard and because I'm losing so much blood. So there's blood all over me, all over like the golf like course thing, like around me. It's just everywhere. And so I like start to like pass out, and so my parents behind me like grab me and they're carrying, I think it was my dad, they're carrying me into like the bathroom, one person like bathroom, and so all 3 of us are in the bathroom, and we go through an entire roll. Yeah, I think an entire roll of paper towels are like this big, and I'm still spewing blood everywhere. And they made Kate like sit outside the bathroom with like the door open, and she's just hysterically crying. She's like, I killed her. And I was like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Apparently someone had seen this, and they told the people that, you know, there's some young girl just bleeding everywhere. And so they come up and they brought me like ice water and everything. They got me like another roll of like paper towels, and they're like trying to clean up my blood like on the golf course, because I just made a trail from like the one that we were at all the way down to the bathroom, and it was just horrible. They ended up having to shut down the golf course, like the 2 that we were on, because, you know, I tracked blood all over it, and it was horrible. And still to this day my nose is like still crooked and it bothers me so much. Like I just want it to be like that, but it's not. So yeah, that's how my sister broke my nose, and I laugh about it now, but it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my entire life. Anytime I go golfing, not that I go regular golfing, anytime I go mini golfing, I just stand way back from people because I'm scarred. I haven't bled that much, and it was really scary. It felt like shit for like days after that. I hope you enjoyed. All right, bye.